So now that I know that Christ was killed for me, I know I have to please my Father. That's the underlying point of John 3:16. That God killed his favorite for me, for me, for me.
They like to claim leadership, they like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above when they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority, they don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white man, need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah.
That's why I don't know you. I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is Black Watch with Commanding General YAHANNA, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he make man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
We don't need a black man in the White House. We need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Black Watch. Let the show begin.
Hey, I'm just following orders. Let me get one of those slow motion pictures, bro. One of the slow motion pictures.
You gotta shoot at 60 frames per second.
Come on,
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it cost shit. You see me, they like, ooh, keep on shopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. Coming up, I'm about to bust shit. They see me, they like, ooh, keep on shopping. I'm on my body, real niggas right beside me. Damn right, I brought my army, going up like a rocket, and can't nobody stop me. These niggas garbage, so watch your mouth, boy. Coming all black, slithering house, call me mouth, boy. I'm off the hip like a cowboy. I'm a king, you should bow, boy. Shorty like that, man, you cut up. Nothing I can handle. 144 in the booth, going Rambo. Niggas do you dirty like a stick in a bando. That's why I play the corner like a bum with a banjo. I'ma lead by example. Ooh, keep on sobbing, got this bitch off the hand, got the juice, got the drip, about to hit the bitch with the salt. It ain't rap, it's assault. Can't taste a bitch unless you with the coke. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they bullshit. These niggas better move and coach shit. Cause if they make the wrong move, it cost shit. One way, one way, one way, one way, one way. Coming up on my new I do it how a veteran be. You better than me. I'm Reggie at the edge of the key. It's all money, no honey. Think you settle and see. You locked up, fucked up, and it's back to the streets. It's one West. You can check the residency. I reside with soldiers died on the soles of their feet. Cause it's death before designer. Ain't no coward in me. Cause I'm cold as a bitch's shoulder. You ain't calling a week. Get the cooking on this beat.
ribs up like his wife left him. We all steppin', kill you with kindness cause I'm dead nice. That 5'7" put you 6 feet, not talking height. That judge giving out 5, but you doing life. These hands are rude GPS, a mean right. That's mean right, we build different, you know the vibes. And we something authentic, we notarized. I keep a 144 because I know a cod. Noah's Ark, you know I'm with animals when we flowin' by. We back again, no cap, when I'm with Cap again. Yeah, they say they want smoke until we matching them. Everything righteous, so you know when we get back at them, you get hit up with a K, but no acronym.
They say they wanna hit that raw shit. These niggas claiming that they boss shit. These niggas better move and coach shit. As if they make the wrong move and coach shit. See me, they like, ooh, keep on chopping. I'm on my way up and they ain't gon' stop it. They say they wanna hit that raw shit. I'm on my way. Coming up on my divorce.
Warrior with the hands, that's what I'm all about. Hunger in my eyes, vengeance in my mouth. They don't want no altercation. Situation gon' get critical. It's best that you be easy. The end gon' be biblical. Look, flow like a river. It's something like a miracle. Royalty in my veins, loyalty in my ways. Payback in every breath, plus revenge in my heart. The truth in every word. Bring light into the dark. And I ain't never lukewarm. Shit, I blazing in the season. Got plenty food for thought. Just gotta watch who I'm feeding. And I been walking with them angels. So I guess I got this pistol for no reason. Niggas barely breathing, criticizing all my achievements. Won't make me weak. Nah, it won't make me slack off. These niggas baby fat soft. Better bear witness or back off. I be ripping shit like sackcloth. Dumb dogs all barked out. My hymen say I cup full. No room for emotion, so I pour my heart out. This road hard, but I intend to stay. And if it ain't UPK, then they in the way. My niggas righteous, they real, they down to something. Flow so deep, it drown a motherfucker. He say he in the truth, oh yeah? Well, this the home. And I don't hate them brothers, I'm just too loyal to my own. Plus what they believe, hard for me to follow. No rank me, no head, and I ain't leaving this body to live and sleep in hollow. So when they ask I'm UPK, you tell them absolutely. And I ain't trimming my ways for nothing, gotta execute me. Cause I can never die with my tail tucked between my legs. Shit I be thinking, watching my daughters tucked in their bed. They so smart, and Alana, she so beautiful, but they ain't like other babies, and they daddy far from usual. Now I'm missing cause I'm about my father's business. It ain't about this shit I used to do in that 98 Navy, the tan leather seats. See, without wisdom, this world make you weak. I found out that the truth was bitter, the lies are sweet. Tried everything, I guess me and YAHANNA had to meet. Now I make the blind see, and I make the dead speak. And teach both my little girls the day that they lie with a man, they better bring me bloody bed sheets. Chaos match the time, this Glock match my handpiece. And I ain't trying to take him out, but I will defend this house. Or take a check, 144 in that black trench on some hitman shit. Shit call me 47, praying for Armageddon. Me and my soldiers dressed for the wedding. Fuck the fame, ask why, tell them I'm loyal to the king. Until the righteous reign, Lord to the king. I want that straight lane to break the chain. Lord to the king. Them devils can't have me, bitch. I'm Lord to the king. That's right. Bring that hot flame, UPK. Lord to the king. Until the righteous reign, Lord to the king. I want that straight lane to break the chain. Lord to the king. Them devils can't have me, bitch. I'm Lord to the king. Bring that hot flame, UPK. Lord to the king.
According to God, the white man is the devil. You see, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this boy, your ass need to stop it. Ass you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that. Let bygone be. Boy, your ass need to stop it. Ass you to profit. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I tell you once, won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up on parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Know that it's gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass you the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know, they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world and know boy, your ass need to stop it, ass you the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass shit. Oh, I'm with step, I'm solid for show. To them fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go, let's go. I ain't taking no loss, ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell them we can't keep it slate. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, got your baby pass through the fire. Ain't she the prophets? That baby so belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
Alright, so tonight we're gonna go into fellas, listen to that know that Buffalo shooting. I know a lot of people dealing with it this week. You know what I mean? Watching all the classes, it's in the news. Where they at with it here? Did they declare him insane yet? Mm-hmm. What is it? Any talk of him being insane?
To me, it sounds like they might try to lead to it. They don't even want to officially declare it a hate crime yet.
Okay, but didn't the mayor say it was a hate crime? The Buffalo mayor?
No, the chief of police said it was a hate crime, but they still saying that they need to further investigate to officially charge him with hate crimes.
Okay.
Even though they found the manifesto and all the evidence that they have.
They say they still have to do
more investigation, sir.
Okay, no sweat. Okay, I think that it's in the media that they're starting to talk about him like he's insane. Okay, but I just sent you another video, Barack, of what's his name, Tucker Carlson from Fox.
Okay.
And he's claiming that it's you know, he's like, let's not rush.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Damn. You can hand that to me.
Take a picture of that.
Yeah, give a thumbs a lot.
Most High Christ. Most High Christ.
Okay.
I'm about to get upset.
Right. So they're starting to talk as if he's unstable, mentally unstable already. That's the
Consul, they he did a report when he was in high school on murder suicide. The police came to him about that, and he was hospitalized for a day and a half, and they found him sane.
Say that one more time.
So in high school, he had to do a school report, and that report was on murder suicide.
Mm-hmm.
When he handed his report in, the school called the police.
Why?
The police came because is a story. Is a story. He wrote I don't know how he viewed his paper, but his paper was on murder suicide.
Okay.
The school called the police. The police came to his house, talked to him. From that talk, they hospitalized him, and he was in hospital for a day and a half. And then within that time frame, they deemed him to be sane. He wasn't a threat to anybody else or himself.
They're gonna say no sweat. They're gonna say whatever at this point to help free the suppressor.
Right.
Right. They're gonna say whatever it is.
Right.
Right. They ain't come up with nothing yet. You know, his manifesto is a ridiculous piece of wood. Like, you know, I mean, I don't know why they just don't write, 5 words. I am the devil.
Right.
That would make everything a little bit more simpler. You know what I mean, when it comes to it. Go ahead.
It's like about me. I haven't got a chance to officially look over and read it yet, but that manifesto is a 183-page manifesto.
That's how you know he's crazy. That's how you know he's. I think that's a classic sign of schizophrenia. That whole, give us a different write a text message, and you have to hit continue.
Yeah.
Or it's in parts.
That's most systems.
Yeah, that's. Stay on top of it, guys. Stay on top of it. Yeah, I think that's a whole sign of mental illness too. Right. Whole delusions of grandeur, that type of situation. So, is there somebody else ready to go?
Nah.
I think I heard sound like somebody now.
Nah, sir.
No sweat. All right, so they ain't saying nothing about him yet. All right, but that's where it's definitely gonna go. That's been the history of most situations like that in America. All right. So now, again, any questions? Anything that I go over? I definitely have an article I put that from last week. I want you all to read it. Just to go through it again. Last week, that whole thing we did with the rapings.
You just got so you got a quick question online.
Mm-hmm.
Just a quick one.
I'm gonna send it really quick.
Colonel Wakan, sir. Tory Bolton said.
Let's probably save this for the purple part.
Okay, Colonel Wakan.
This could probably be saved for the purple. Go ahead.
Colonel Wakan. Tory Bolton asks, Shalom, what part of DC are y'all in?
You trying to come to class?
He said, I want to join I.S.U.P.K. Because I'm in District Heights.
No sweat. You could come up to class. Let me know when you're ready. I'm going to let you know. You could come up to class. You're right on that DC Maryland line. All right. Whenever you're ready, you call the school number, and you're gonna get our full thing. Or you can go on the website, grab the address. All right. You can give them the school number, right? 240-701-4825.
And you do have one more question online.
Mm-hmm.
You want an answer?
Yeah, let's go.
Brother in class said, Salakia, sir, last week I watched General Hyman talk about the pedophile scriptures and the flower of her age. Can you also use Ecclesiasticus 42:10 in explaining it? I got this. Sir. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, verse 10. In her virginity, lest she should be defiled.
Ecclesiasticus, right?
Ecclesiasticus 42:10. Ecclesiasticus chapter 42, verse 10. In her virginity, lest she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house, and having an husband, lest she should misbehave herself. And when she is married,
just to give a little context, skip up to
9. Verse 9. The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep. When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she should be hated.
Okay, so let's get that part first, just to help the brother understand. The second part was 10. He's asking if this could be used to say what?
This was referring to General Hyman's talk about the pedophile scriptures and the flower of her age. Can you use this scripture in explaining it?
What does he say? Brother, if you could, before I go into it, could you type in what you understand by the flower of her age? That's what I want. I want to find out what you understand. Right. So I hear what you're saying with what the general said, but what do you understand by the flower of her age and pedophilia and or stuff like that? And really it's two separate questions in a way. Why? Because one, we're talking about a child. The other one, we're talking about somebody who's transitioning from a child into adulthood. Right? Pedophilia is not used for a 14-year-old who has a period. You get the point? That's more so used for the younger children, right? That 14-year-old, 15, 16-year-old, you have that statutory rape, child abuse, that type of thing. You get the point?
Right.
So I want to know what he understands by the passing of her flower first. That way we could get it. But we could break the first part down in the meantime. All right.
Sir.
9. Read 9 again.
Sir. Ecclesiasticus chapter 42, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep.
All right. What does that mean? Anyway.
So a father of a daughter, basically he is concerned with her, right? He's always making sure she's okay.
The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth.
Right.
Give me that.
He's up when nobody else is thinking about her. He's thinking about her. He's concerned with her.
Right. He's up early or up late.
He's losing sleep.
He's losing sleep. Right. Not just thinking about her, just overseeing everything.
Right.
I mean, that's the time you have to check the computers. If you're smart, the computers on them phone, them children have to. You have a few years before they learn about control H. Once they discover that shit, it's over. You find out from somebody or when the belly start rising. But you have a little bit of time before they understand about a history. You gotta take them computers and run through that shit like the CIA. You get the point, spend the whole night checking this, backlogging this, read the full conversation. Not the last few responses. Go back days, weeks, read that shit like a novel. Buy yourself a coffee pot. Go ahead.
If I could, sir. He replied, brother in class said, Salakia, sir, from my understanding, this scripture shows that underage sex is unlawful. and not a cultural thing in Israel, as it's an unclean thing to be pregnant while in her father's house. Excuse me, that's the last part was a question. Not a cultural thing in Israel, as it's an unclean thing to be pregnant while in her father's house. That's how you worded it.
Okay. In the spirit, I guess what you're trying to say. Not that it's an unclean thing for her to be pregnant in her father's house. I was thinking more so like Mary was pregnant in her father's house. Right. You get the point? Okay. You have a way of doing things, right? You have a way of doing things, and this is just our way of doing things. Right. You go to the father, talk to him, you develop a relationship with the father, you start courting the daughter. At some point in time, you're gonna be like, I'm ready to talk money. Right. You ain't ready to marry yet. But now you're trying to figure out, you're feeling it a little bit. Right. So now you want to know how much he wants to see if you could even afford this girl. Maybe you can't. Right. You understand that? Ask that shit first. If you brothers, just ask it quick. No wait till you're writing sonnets and beats about the broad, and come to find out you need a Wyclef album to pay for her. You know what I mean? Some of these sisters are expensive. Find out that first. And a few brothers, one brother, as soon as he heard he had to pay, he called it off. The other one just fizzled out the shit once he heard the amount. You know what I mean? That is a deterrent, right? So there's a way of doing things. And then there's another way where it's not the proper way. It's not the honorable way. Right. And that's more the culture here. Okay. Right? It's a more honorable thing where you could now publicly tell everybody, come to this party. Because this girl, she gonna marry this nigga tonight. Tomorrow morning, she ain't gonna be my daughter anymore. Not in the sense of my baby girl, but this is gonna be his wife. This is gonna be my son in the morning. And that's the honorable way of doing things. And this man comes and he works out a deal with you. And whether you say, well, give me 50 now, you could go ahead and have it, give me the other 50 next 2 years, whatever it is. Or you might want it all up front. There's a certain honorable way of doing things. And that's how we always are. And it gives respect to everything. It gives a certain amount of esteem to something. You get the point? Because now you done paid for this girl and everybody knows this is your woman. You know duty and obligation comes in. You get the point? There's a social duty and obligation that comes in that is absent if everything is done. If everything is done off to the side, if everything is done in the DMs, now there's a certain, that obligation goes out the door. Because who the hell holding you accountable? Right. She ain't. She culpable in the shit. Or he ain't. He culpable in it. Right. So who holding who accountable? Because nobody know this shit going on. Right. Until somebody finds out. You get the point? So it's more so on the honor of it. Go ahead.
So it's heavy you say that, because in today's world, I just imagine the disrespect to a father to find out his daughter's pregnant.
Well, the problem is the father is not even there to be disrespected. No, okay. That's where it really starts. Right. The father is not even there to be disrespected. Right. You get it, boy? It's one thing if he's there and he's disrespected. He can still correct that. And the Lord puts a provision in the Bible for that. Right. Because why? The brother game just might be that strong. And she leave that back door open. You know what I mean? She wants to marry this brother. And the brother marries her in the father's house. Or outside of the house, but while she's still living there. And don't confess to no tell me.
What I was about to say, if I met, then that's how your house shall was born.
Exactly.
Joseph's game was that strong.
Yeah, I mean, well, Mary's game was strong. Joseph was trying to be, which usually is the case. Y'all, I've been trying to tell y'all, these sisters is a little different. These sisters is different. Don't take that shit. Don't take that bullshit. She coming with the A1 game for you, brother. She in class, she watching refusing. Okay, he don't drink wine, he drinks scotch. I got it. him. Get out of him. She don't care about that bill you got to pay after all the check-ins. All she knows, she got you. And, you know, that's what she wants. That's fine. But there's a provision in the scripture for that because the father may not want you to marry his daughter. But sometimes you can't stop it. And that happens. And it's a father's right to want who he wants for his daughter and refuse who he doesn't. Right. You get the point? He might want to refuse, and it's his right. That's his daughter. He grew her from a baby. That's his right. However, the Lord might want something different. And it's in there where, you know, if the father refuses, he now has to pay the dowry to the brother. You get the point? Because now the Lord wants you to let that shit go and just let the brother pay your dowry and make a relationship with his son, your new son. You all know where that scripture is, right? Yeah. I'll go through that. So now it's more of an honorable situation. All right. Read the brother's answer again.
His answer says, Salakia, sir, from my understanding, this scripture shows that underage sex is unlawful and not
let's pause right there. Underage sex is unlawful, and underage sex, that's the flower of age. That's the topic of the point of these verses we're going into, what the general was talking about. Go ahead.
And not a cultural thing in Israel, as it's an unclean thing to be pregnant while in her father's house.
Right, that last part there, you have to separate that. Because her being in her father's house, she may not be underage. She just might not be married yet. Right. You get the point? Right. So that's where you have to separate that. Because she could be 22. She could be 18. She could be 20. Of that age now where you could consider giving her to her brother. Right? The underage sex would be under that. Before she done passed the flower of her age. Passed with that flower fully bloomed now. She a full-out woman now. You get the point? Go ahead.
Sir, if I could, I know you used the word unclean thing, but could it be more so of a dishonorable thing to get married in your father's house without the permission?
That's what I was just breaking down. So the unclean thing, I want to clear it up because unclean makes it sound like it's a sin, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not. It's just a dishonorable thing. The sin is if you marry the girl in the father's house and she acts like she's unmarried and the father caught her with somebody else. Right. You get the point? And now he goes into her and he comes out, there's no blood on these sheets. What did you give me? And he comes to find out she played the harlot in her father's house. Right. That's in Deuteronomy 22nd chapter. That's the unclean thing. But her being married in her father's house, that's not the unclean thing. That's just, it's just a matter of honor and respect. You know what I mean? It's a dishonorable thing. Do the honorable thing and go to the man about his property. And so it's a mindset you have to have that she is property, like a car. You wouldn't just go take a car off a lot. Right. That's his property. Go to him. He don't want you to have his property. Shalom. Move on. Right. Or you can make it a lifelong mission to sway her father. And that could be done too. Because you're marrying him. You're marrying him. You're marrying her mother. You're marrying her sister. You're marrying the dog. Right. You're marrying the cousins. You're marrying that drunk uncle that she gonna talk about. You're marrying the family, not just her. You get the point? Right. You buy a car, you buying whatever Kia does. Everything gonna be Kia, the manufacturer, the tires, whatever. You get the point? But you ain't just getting this person. You're getting everything that comes with them, which is why you do things a certain way, the honorable way. Right. You get me? So give me verse 9 again.
No, blind, sir. Verse 9. Ecclesiasticus chapter 42, verse 9. The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep. When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she should be hated.
All right. So now, being young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married and being hated. What does that mean? Go ahead.
That is it saying that she got married without being given away by her father?
That's one thing that could happen.
Unless she passed her. Unless she passed her.
The father is losing sleep over her, so she won't be hated and called a whore in the city.
You answer it. You answer it. It's how you're reading it. The way you read it is different to what you think it is. The way it's written is different to what you're reading and what you think it is. You can read it one more time.
From the top of verse 9. The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep.
Right, he waketh for her when no man knows. He's up, he's losing sleep. He's not, meaning he's not comfortable and resting away. Right. When no man knows. Who knows what the hell he's doing? He could be fortifying the goddamn house so nobody don't come in there and harm the family. You get it going? He could be, doing research on, what young girls do at this age and this time, this era. He could be studying a whole ton of he could be up getting counseling. So like it's a XYZ going on. I don't know what the hell to do with this bitch. I'm about to fold up and put her in the trash. What the hell should I do? You know what I mean? Come on.
So he's like worrying and stressing. Is that
okay? Yes, but I don't like the term worrying and stressing. He's being a parent, being a father. He's being somebody who is in charge of the life of somebody else. Okay. And when you're in charge of somebody else's life, your life does not matter. Okay. And when I say your life, the comforts that come with your life doesn't matter.
My mom used to always tell me when I was a kid, my eyes see further than you can see.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Because you're watching.
Yeah, exactly.
A child watching here and playing. And you have to keep them out the street. Don't stop them playing. Don't run out on the road. Watch that tap there on the ground, watch that hole. But they're playing. But you know that your life is to make sure they don't die or ruin their life. You get the point? So that's up to that point. Read next
verse 10. In her virginity. Salaki say again.
Read from 9 one more time.
Verse.
Somebody else pick up with things with the computer, you get lost.
Verse 9. The father waketh.
He's gonna say something? You'll get the next verse, all right? Go ahead.
The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep.
Which is what we just went through. Go ahead.
When she is young,
okay.
Lest she.
Hold on. When she is young, there's a comma. So what is he doing when she's young?
He's preparing.
He's caring for her while she's young. Losing sleep. Wake it for her when nobody knows. You get the point? He's doing that when she is young. Go ahead.
Lest she pass.
Or I'm doing this now so that when
she passed away.
Go ahead.
The flower of her age.
When she gets past the flower of her age or the flower is blooming, go ahead.
And being married.
And she doesn't get married now. Now she's an adult. While she's young, I'm preparing her. Because if I don't, when she reaches that age and she has a husband,
lest she should be hated.
How's it going?
Right.
So if I can't, the precept could be teaching child ways to go. If I paraphrase it. Come on.
Hold on 1 second. Shalom to YAHANNA. Okay. I didn't think it. I was thinking of it from because I already take this one. 1 second.
All right, good on that.
Well, you start verse 10. Captain Shock just thoroughly broke down verse 9 for us to understand. But we was at 9 and 10. We started. The brother's question was about verse 10.
Okay, go ahead, verse 10.
Khan. Verse, yeah, that's right. Go ahead. Or Shapat, actually. Shapat.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, verse 10. In her virginity, least she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house. And having an husband, least she should misbehave herself.
And when she is married, least she should be burned.
All right, hold on. One more time.
Come. Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, verse 10. In her virginity.
Read the end of verse 9.
Read the end of verse 9? Come, sir. Verse 9. Least she should misbehave herself. And when she is married, least she should be burnt. Slack, I'm down here. Slack. Least she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, least she should be hated.
So he's preparing her basically for marriage, right? He's guarding over her, watching over her, make sure to raise her up in a way where when she's married, her husband will be pleased with her. Right. Last thing a father would want, I'd imagine, is for you to give your. Remember, you're giving your baby girl away. Right.
Mm-hmm.
This person came out of you. You know, this is somebody you watch over for the years. It's not like today where, you know, if she's a monster, that's his business. In today's world, most of the time, the father wants you to marry her so she can get the hell out of his house.
Right.
What's your attitude? His problem now, whatever happens, happens. He'll watch the kids.
Like, if I may, King Saul did the same thing with his daughter.
Yeah, well,
that's a different story.
I've been watching the end.
Seriously.
That's his say. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Oh, stop. Verse 10. In her virginity, least she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house.
Now, this part here is interesting, right? This part where it says, in her virginity. What is it talking about here?
It's talking about when she's not married. When she's being groomed to be a woman.
Exactly, right? What precept you use for what you just said?
Precept when Mary was of marriageable age.
Right. Give me the scripture also, very important. And you should also have this in your precept books. This will help you understand a lot of the questions, virginity questions. Hold on. Give me Genesis chapter 24. Genesis chapter 24, verse 16.
Genesis chapter 24 and verse 16. And the damsel was very fair to look upon.
So you're talking about a sister, right? She was very attractive to look upon. Go ahead.
A virgin.
A what?
A virgin.
Go ahead.
Neither had any man known her.
She was a virgin, neither had any man known her. Why is he saying it like that? Watch it.
Because he's making a difference between someone who has sex and what we know in the scripture as a virgin.
So what's the virgin in the scriptures, bro?
Virgin in the scriptures is a sister that hasn't a woman that hasn't passed her flower. Not necessarily hasn't passed her flower.
No. All right, watch it.
Oh, sorry, if I may. A woman who is of age to have sex with. And also women that didn't have sex.
Right. So read it again.
Khan. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man known her. And she went down to the well.
That's it, right? She's a virgin, neither had any man known her. She's a virgin, means she's a young lady. That's what it's talking about. She's a young lady who has not been with a man. Right? So that's what a virgin is. It's a lot.
See all y'all sisters up in there. See the whole book highlighted. All right, where we at with it now?
Verse 10. But take it over to Genesis.
All right, go ahead.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42, verse 10. In her virginity, least she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house, and having a husband, least she should misbehave herself, and when she is married, least she be burned.
She should be buried. All right. Lest she should be buried.
Lest she should be buried.
Less, like unless.
Less.
Like unless this happened.
Less.
You understand what I'm saying?
Come.
Okay, so what are you getting from verse 10?
That the father took his time to prepare her so these things won't happen.
That's it. This is not all one situation. Right? Read verse 10 one more time.
Come, sir. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42.
Okay, no, read from after when she is young. Read from when she is young and 9.
Come, sir. When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age and be murdered, lest she should be hated.
Right? So he does all this while she is young, so that when she get past the flower of her age and she's married, she might be hated. So he makes sure to prepare her for that. Unless, go ahead.
Come. Verse 10. In her virginity.
In her virginity, meaning in her marriageable age. That's what virginity means. A young, unmarried woman. You all had to break down for that? A virgin? Give it to me.
Genesis 24:16.
What does it say?
It says, and the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man known her.
Perfect. Right? So that would be in her virginity. In that age, in the age bracket where she can be married and where she can be married and considered young, meaning this thing the age where a woman could give you children. You get the point? That young age where she's still, she's in that age group now where she is considered a virgin. Young unmarried woman, it's like a young woman of marriageable age, whether she's married or not. All right? I think that's in the Bible dictionary too. Somebody check it for me. Anybody have a Bible dictionary? No sweat. All right, keep reading now.
Come, sir.
Y'all don't have a Bible dictionary? Well, raise your hand here. Who don't have one? You don't have one? Ain't none over there. All right, so I give you all 1 week to get one unless I'm finding everybody. Or ask to find everybody. The price of one. All right? Y'all know this is supposed to be in your arsenal, right? What's your arsenal? What's your UPK arsenal? What's supposed to be in your bag?
The Hebrew Academy bag is apocrypha, notepad, Bible, pretty much is that.
Bible, apocrypha, notepad, and
your sword, the apocrypha, the notepad, the pen. I would say at least Babylon, the Timbuktu, and the Zonderville Bible Dictionary.
Yeah, there's one more thing, but yeah, that's picture of Caesar board here. That's the traditional, which is supposed to take the camp everywhere. That's what you're supposed to do. That's where you always see me with a bag. You see the brothers taking bags. You ain't just taking that bag because that's your arsenal. That's you going to war. What are you going to war with today? It's a Bible and a phone. So if your battery die, you dead in the field, right?
I have my apocrypha and my
whatever. You have 1 week. Compact Bible dictionary. It's optional to get the big one. You don't have to. Bible, apocrypha, Zondervan Bible dictionary, Babylon to Timbuktu. Small picture of Caesar Borgia. Right? Picture of Caesar. Put this at the door, on the ground from here. Doormat, please. All right.
So they do sell the big letter ones.
You might just need to get some glasses. Yeah. That's all. You're trying to make an excuse not to get these. Go get the glasses. So you have a week to organize that. Go ahead.
I do know the Hebrew name for it is Alma.
For what?
First.
It might be. I think it's that. Could be. You can check it out on next show. I can't remember it for sure. All right. Okay, so where we at now? In her virginity, go ahead.
Come. In her virginity, lest she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house.
So now this is not a scripture for underage sex because she's in her virginity. Right. She's of the lawful age to be married. Think about it like she had to be this high to get on the ride, like at the amusement park. You see, let's make the child go and stand up by the thing and be like, nah, too short. She's at the age where she could get on the ride. However, she get on this ride without permission. And now she's pregnant in her father's house. Yes, you could marry. But you didn't ask me to marry. You just went ahead and got pregnant. Now what? All them nights I was waking, I don't get paid for that shit. All that shit you do around here, who compensated me for that? And now I have to raise another baby. So he's taking the caution now while she's young. You get the point? Right. Go ahead.
Come. And having an husband, lest she should misbehave herself.
And having a husband, and she should be misbehaving herself, meaning now she's a burden to this brother because the father didn't spend time with sleepless nights and waking for her when no man knew. Now she's married to the husband, and what's it? And she's misbehaving herself. She's misbehaving herself, which could be a slew of things. From mouth to disobeying him to whoring on him. It could be a whole slew of things. And in the kingdom, something like that, you go talk to the father. You get the point? Right. You would go talk to the father. You wouldn't, kick her down the goddamn stairs. Punch in the mouth. You would, Salaki, so you have a minute? And you would start telling him about this daughter that he done gave you. Just like if you bought a car and you drive, and after a month, this car start doing what? Acting the hell up. That engine light just never go off. That seatbelt thing pinging. You turning left, but the car going right. You're gonna drive that bitch right back to Lisa. Say, yo, man, what kind of car? I paid y'all. Right. I gave y'all money. Y'all can't give me a proper car. The only thing is you can't get your money back in this situation. You don't have sex with you. You can't return the shit. You get the point? Right.
Because you do a warranty exchange.
That's what Moses did. For the hardness of the heart, he gave them a bill of divorce because they was killing each other. They was hot grits and punches. Right. You know what I mean? Puncher grits and hot oil. You know what I mean? It was a ton of cruelty because of course, the preparation wasn't there. You get the point? And on the other side of this, she can't do it if there is not a brother who is ill-prepared in the same manner, who will dishonor not only his father, but her father rules as well. Right. Like she ain't getting pregnant on her own. She ain't getting married without permission on her own. Right. Somebody has to do it. You get what I'm saying? Right. So it's on both sides, but of course, she kind of has more influence or power, I want to say, because she's the one opening her legs. You know what I mean? Once she opens her legs, that belongs to him now. But she's the one who you have to instill so much into, because unless she opens her legs, she can't do anything else. You get the point? So that's it. Anything? What's it? After that, what's it? Behave herself and what else?
Oh God. And when she is married, lest she should be burned.
And when she is married, lest she should be barren. Break that down.
It's a lot, if I can, right? If she doesn't listen to what she was taught by her father, she should never be able to have children. It should be like a curse. It's a lot.
For want of a better word.
Sorry, I would say if she ain't listening to me, I ain't trying to get her pregnant.
Okay, you not trying to get her pregnant has nothing to do with her being barren. That ain't got shit to do with her being barren. Somebody else could get her pregnant. The Holy Spirit could get her pregnant, if you know what I mean. Yes. She could come and be, my gosh, Bukwash. No, it's not. Thus is thou, no, it's not. That the Spirit visited me last night. And you come home and you're like, I know I ain't. Look at God. No, nigga, somebody else could go and get her pregnant. Barren is infertile.
Right.
like dry sand. You ever see her plant anything on the beach?
Constantly.
No, you haven't. That shit not growing. That shit is not growing. It's infertile. It can't grow. You get the point? Who was the two sisters? Oh Lord. Leah and Rebecca. Which one was infertile? Which one was barren? Rebecca was
barren. Leah was having.
Was Leah and Rebecca or Leah and Rachel?
Yeah, Rachel.
Rachel was barren. Rachel was barren, but she was the one who was more desired.
Right.
Leah was the tender-eyed one, who was not as attractive as Rachel, but that's who Jacob ended up marrying. Look up, what's the scripture of the mandrake?
Genesis 30, 14 through 16.
Mandrake?
Yeah.
Spell it.
M-A-N, man, M-A-N-D-R-A-K-E-S.
Mandrakes.
Okay. 30.
Genesis 1?
30, 14.
Yeah, please, read from there.
Okay.
Genesis chapter 30, verse 14. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest, and found mandrakes in the field, and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said unto Leah, give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrakes. And she said unto her, is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband? And wouldest thou take away my son's mandrakes also?
Hold on, read that. Genesis what?
Genesis 30 and 14.
30. Okay, go ahead.
Come on. And she said unto her, is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband? And wouldest thou take away my son's mandrakes also? And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrakes.
Okay, whose son was the mandrakes?
It's Leah's son, sir. It was Reuben.
Leah's son had the mandrakes.
Come on.
Rachel said, give me the mandrakes, right?
Come on.
And Leah said unto Rachel, 3:15.
Come on. And she said unto her, is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband? And wouldest thou take away my son's mandrakes also?
All right, you understand that, right? Because Leah was the wife first.
Right.
But Jacob wanted Rachel initially.
Right.
He worked an additional 7 years for Rachel. And Leah doesn't have a child. And she's like, well, you taking my husband because, of course, the desire for Rachel is there. And so she's now acting like, okay, when will you stop? You had the man already. You're coming to take something from the child.
Right.
Like, leave me the hell alone. Go ahead.
Come on.
And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrake.
What does that say?
What is a mandrake?
A mandrake is like a root.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a root. People, okay. Now you have Viagra, right? For the male side. You have Viagra, you have the gas station pills, right?
Oh, God.
Don't go do that shit and get hot. Like I died. I'm just ordering at that point. Don't do it every time. Go to Hebrew Academy so you don't need no pills.
That's right.
We don't need the pills. But so before that, there were certain foods. Like like an aphrodisiac, something that makes you want to have sex.
Oh, God.
Then there's foods that raise your energy.
Right.
And raise your libido, which is your desire to have sex.
Right.
You get the point? Then you have certain foods and roots, things you pull out of the ground and you blend up and you make a drink with, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it makes you more virile,
right,
more strong. So it's the same for sisters. There's foods like that. There's foods that she can have to make her have a child, right? A ton of, herbs and berries and roots, but a mandrake is like a root that will, in this case, I believe it would help her get pregnant.
Right.
You get the point? Go ahead.
If I may, I know like in the late 90s, we called it the tonic root. Coming like in a little jar, the tonic. The tonic root, like a little stem in there.
Yeah, it's just a root. They call them roots. Right? Baba roots, tonic roots. They have a whole ton of different, shit. You hear people talking all kind of shit. Black stone. You ever heard of Black stone?
Nah, I never heard of that.
it's supposed to be the piece of a rhino's horn. Right? It's unlawful as hell. And that shit is most of it, that shit is marketing. Right? A lot of Benjamites are into some called tiger bone. When I was growing up, I used to hear about shit. You know, it's actual tiger bone. It's actual ground up tiger's bone, femur. Because the tiger is so strong. So you go put that in the Guinness and you stir that up and you say, fresh after night. All that shit is in your goddamn head. Just go do some goddamn push-ups and run. And you know, she gonna catch head.
Ain't that the same in the same like housing group as like managed soup?
Managed water?
Yeah, concept.
Okay, managed water is just soup made with the remains of the goat. The stuff you're doing curry or you're doing barbecue, whatever, you make a soup with it. Most of that stuff is like slave food. You get the point? Like whatever the master leave over, you make something with it, and then over time it turns into a delicacy. So managed water is really pieces of the goat that's not really desirable, and the head, right? They also call it goat head soup. You get the point? But of course, only the strongest can eat it, because who the hell is going to eat a soup with a head in it? You get the point? Most of y'all don't even like to eat the fish, see the fish, the whole fish on the damn platter. You don't see the fish with the eye looking at you all frosty and flaky. You don't want to eat the snapper no more. Yeah, you know what I mean? I scare my children with that. They'd be like, you eating the head? And turn them all the way off. So in their mind, I'm a crazy nutcase coming from the world because I eat fish eyes. And that's when the shit stopped. Damn, he's drinking managed water. I can't drink that. I can't eat that. It's goat head and whatever else is in there. And he could drink it because he's strong. You get the point? Just take care of yourself, you know. Obey the God laws of the Lord. Go to the foot of the bed, ask the Lord to be with you tonight. Put the angels on your back. And she'll do what? Oh God! That's it. You got to go and get no release. So you could get it if you want to, but that's what a mandrake is. It's something. You go and ask the Lord to be with you. Let the angels fly with you tonight. And be the wings in the back, and you'll be fine. You'll be good. You gotta go to the gas station and get more goddamn pills to get a heart attack like Kevin Samuel. Come and serve the Lord, You know what I mean? Come serve the Lord, you'll be all right. You'll be strong. Y'all having problems? Y'all just complaining? Good. You see, I'm talking the truth. All right. So that's she got the man. She wanted the man because she wanted a child. She wanted a son. She didn't have the son, so she was like, you know, give me the mandrake and I'll let you lay with him tonight. Because of course, Jacob laying with Rachel. Right. So that's what he wants. She's like, you know, I'll let him go have sex with you.